So let's see how we can get started on iOS driver, right? Here are some of the step-by-step instructions that you need to follow in order to make sure that things are really configured to use the iOS driver, right? So the very first thing, you need to make sure you have Java 7 or above installed. So by default on Mac, Java 6 comes, 1.6, but if you see Java 1.6, you need to upgrade it to Java 7. So over here, if I go to the terminal and if I clear everything, and if I just write Java version, it will gonna show me the correct version. See, I have updated to the new version, that is 1.7.0. right? This is one because iOS driver will gonna support any version above this, right? Then you need to make sure that you have Xcode 5 or above installed on your machine, right? So since you should be able to use iPhone and iPad simulators, as iOS driver only gonna support simulators in current version, right? And then you need the jar file. Jar file can be downloaded from the iOS driver website, right? Okay, and so you need to make sure Xcode is installed or not. Just copy this statement and go to the terminal and just paste it. So you're gonna see something like this on your terminal, right? If you get this thing, it means your Xcode environment is already configured. It will gonna show the current version of iOS SDK and the simulator, right? So mine is 7.1, so that should be okay, right? And Java version will gonna show you the current version of Java, right? Then you can download the snapshot file. Once you download it, it will gonna give you a jar file, right? Jar file, we can store it in any location. Like I have store it under documents, and under I've created one iPhone app folder, and here I have actually kept this jar file. So this is the jar file. This is iOS server standalone jar file, right? So this is the one that you should be needing, and now you should be needing some app which you can test. So right now iOS driver, if you have your own app, you can test your own app. Rest you're gonna find a lot of sample apps on APM website as well as on iOS driver website. They've actually provided really good apps which you can test, and you can make yourself comfortable using these APIs, right? So getting a test application, you can download one of the application. This is a hybrid application that you can download from here. International Mountain app, you can download it from here, and you need to unzip that. And the second one is a UI catalog app. This is another app, right? So you can download this one. Here you're gonna see some web view part as well, so you can automate some web view part as well, right? So the very first thing, how we gonna see how we can launch the iOS driver. So launching iOS driver, you need to follow this statement, right? That is Java -jar, and the name of the jar file that you have downloaded, and the path to the app that you have downloaded. So if the app is like International Mountain.app, you need to give that path where you have stored it, and a port number you should be giving, because the server should be started on some port only, right? So let's go back to the terminal and go to the location where we have actually downloading our server and app. See, this is the app that I've downloaded from here, and this is the server standalone server jar file that I've downloaded. So I'll go to this location. I'll check the location of this standalone jar file. I'll copy this, and simply over here I'll write Java -jar, and I'll give the name of the jar file, that is iOS server. And okay, before this I need to go to the location, so I'll paste the location, and here I'll write Java -jar and then iOS server.jar, and then hyphen application under test AUT, and then my application is international mountains. So I can say international mountains.app hyphen port 4444. So this will actually gonna launch like this will actually gonna start the server to support this international mountain application. Now I can start performing my test based on this application. If you want to test some other application, this is one of the UI catalog application. This is another app file which you can test. Same way like you have started started server for international mountain, you can again use the same command and you can start it now for the UI catalog application. So you can remove this and say UI, it should be capital, UI catalog.app. Press enter and again you're gonna see something like this, right? So if you see the same thing over here, this is what you actually gonna see, right? So it will gonna show you the current version, Jetty 7.xy snapshot and all these things, and your app, right? Whatever app that you run through the server, it will gonna show you this thing. In case you want to work on a web app, in case you want to open up Safari browser, then there is no need for giving the app like .app file, right? Because it will be directly picked up from the emulator. So in case of you want to automate your website on using the Safari browsers, then just remove this hyphen AUT app. Just remove this and press enter. Right. So here you should be able to use Safari. Right. So this is what you need to install. So you can go through this setup instruction, and once you install it, you can go to this particular link to make sure your server is started. So if you paste this link over here, you're gonna see a JSON file which gives you the information of what is started over here, right? And if you again go back here, if I go back to my previous command, if I let's say open up UI catalog app or execute international mountain app, and if I again run this server, so it will actually gonna show us the information of international mountain app and the version 1.1. So this is the bundle name, and the version is really important. This is what we would be needing once we start coding and once we start automating these iPhone iOS based app, right? So these are the configuration you need to make sure that you should be doing before you start working on iOS driver. So working on iOS driver is pretty simple. It's more easy as compared to you do all the configuration for APM. Rest, both of them in both of them you can use the WebDriver code. The concept, the logic will gonna remain the same, right? So in our next module, we're gonna see how we can automate a real application, and we can execute that on an iPhone based simulator. All right, so we'll meet in the next session.